Alright, what's up, guys? Yes, in yesterday's video, I told you that I would do a video on my past experiences as far as work and or hobbies go. So, here we go. Uh, I just had company show up, so you might hear some talking in the background. They're in another room, but the walls are pretty thin here, so we'll see. My dog may make some funny noises. She's a husky, so she talks a lot. Um, but anyhow, so like I said in the other video, I'm 41, about to be 42 here shortly. I was born in 1978. I grew up in a metropolitan area in Michigan. So I grew up in Michigan, colder weather, colder climate area, city environment. That's how I grew up um, until I was 18. Then 18, I want to say almost 19 or something, I moved down here. Or maybe it's almost 18, I don't know, whichever it was. That's when I moved down to Mississippi to kind of slow down, you know. I always felt like life went by too fast in the city. I don't know what's going on in there. I hear a kid running, and I hear my wife yelling at the dog. Everybody laughed, so it must be okay. Anyhow, so yeah, I grew up in the city. Then I moved down south to the country to kind of get away from the city life. I keep looking over here because I can see the hallway light under the door, trying to see if somebody's standing at the door. But anyhow, yeah, I moved down here and met my wife. I knew my wife previously because I moved around a lot when I was younger. A lot of trouble, in and out of trouble. So I got moved to different places to live with this person or that person, trying to get myself right. None of it worked, of course, but moved down here. My wife is from here, so it worked out pretty good. I can't complain. I have no complaints. But anyhow, so to the jobs. Let's see. My first job, I was 14, going on 15, I think. Don't remember. I worked for an ice company in Michigan. I was not old enough to ride on the actual delivery truck, so I never did that. But I was old enough to stack inside of the freezer trucks that they would bring it out to the store and put it in the freezers outside. So I was old enough to do that, so that's what I did. I was only getting paid minimum wage. I want to say minimum wage might have been like $4.25. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that's what I was getting paid. Anyhow, from there I moved on to doing drywall or sheetrock, whichever, hanging and finishing. That's what I did. I did that for a little while. Of course, again, this was in my teenage years. And then I worked at, I moved to Ohio, met some really great people in Ohio. Billy, if you happen to see this, I love you, brother. Can't wait to see you again. I got a lot of catching up to do. Billy was one of the first ones to reach out, seeing that I was from a different area, pretty much looked different than everybody. He was one of the first ones to come up and want to hang out, see what I was all about. So, Billy, I appreciate you. So I worked at a fish and chips restaurant in the mall there in Ohio. It was called Arthur's Treacher. Not sure if that's still a thing or not, but anyhow, let's see. From there, I went to Subway back in Michigan. Yeah, that's pretty much all I did up north. Then I moved down here, and I was young, you know. Didn't really understand the concept of holding a job, what good it has, what the benefits are to holding and maintaining a job. Now I know and understand, but so I worked at several factories, furniture factories. Let's see. I worked in a foundry called Metalloy, where we made intake manifolds for Ford. But it was a real hot, real dirty job. I loved it. Might be one of the rare people to say that, but I loved it. I loved that job, and I worked third shift, and I loved the people that I worked with. We all got along pretty good. You know, you have hiccups every once in a while, but for the most part, we got along pretty well. Let's see, where did I go from there? Furniture. Furniture is not my favorite. Not in a factory. I don't mind doing it for myself, but in a factory, it's not my favorite thing to do. Then 2001, I was working at Lowe's. September 11th happened. Some personal things came up, and I had to take some time away. In that time, I lost that job, so Lowe's was gone. Kind of a bitter departure, like to the point where that was 19 years ago, and I still don't shop there. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. I prefer Home Depot. But anyway, then later on, I want to say around, what was it? Maybe November? October, maybe? Anyhow, I found a couple people needing help with vinyl siding. So I don't know what's going on in there. I don't know if you guys can hear that noise, but it's bad. Whatever it is, they're doing a lot of it. But anyhow, yep. So I got into vinyl siding with those guys. They started out fairly low paying position, and ended up, I call myself a partner in the job, because we made equal amounts of profit. We split it down the middle, and it worked out good, worked out for me. And the two people that I worked with doing that, Monica and Timmy is what we called him. I appreciate you guys for showing me what work meant, what dedication meant. That's the actual first job that I had that I dedicated myself to, my time to. I was still young, so I'm sure I was hard to deal with, kind of hot-headed, which I think all of us are when we're young. But I did that for several years, and then in the wintertime, I would go to a temp agency to find a job for a couple months, have some income coming in. And then when we started picking more jobs up for the side, and then I would leave the other and just go back to doing the side. So it worked out good. Good experience for me. Like I said, the two people that I went in basically partners with, they're fantastic people still to this day. I don't see them near as much as I'd like to, but it's life, right? You move on, people move on. Then I've worked in a body shop with my brother-in-law. It was his body shop. Worked with him for a while. Then I went to work for Toyota Motor Manufacturing, Mississippi. I worked with them for 7.5 years, going on 8 years. It was a rotating shift. Didn't really work out too good for me or my family. Don't get me wrong, the pay was fantastic and the benefits were fantastic, but the family time was not fantastic. I needed more time with my family than what I was able to give. So I had to step away from that, and now I'm with a company called McClellan. I've been with this company for right at 2 years now. I am an assistant contract manager for them, so it's all worked itself out. I don't know whoever's watching this video, I don't know if you guys are believers in God or not, but I feel that we all have a path. It just has some twists and turns in it for you to find the right direction. I'm hoping this is it, but you never know. I'm only 40, 41. So I still have a lot of life ahead of me. Got a lot of changing I can do. We'll see. Wherever the road takes us is where we'll end up. I'm hoping to be able to continue to make videos for you guys. This one's probably one of the more boring ones, but I'm going to continue to make videos for you guys, and you never know what can come of it. Who knows? Um, and as far as hobbies, I think I covered most of them last night. Um, Airbrushing, uh, painting cars, installing stereos. Man, there's just so woodwork. There's so many that I enjoy. Um, and uh, let me tell you, there's nothing better than hanging that good fish when you're out there, or pulling that good deer up in your scope and knowing that it's gonna be clean, right? So that's what two of the things that I enjoy the most, I would say, is fishing and hunting. I think I'd rather fish more than I would hunt, but that, I guess that all depends on what you're hunting and where you're hunting at. Um, Down here, we don't have a whole lot. We have whitetail, of course. They're very small though, and I think it's from the heat or the hill country that I live in. They're very small deer. Um, I remember seeing monster deer in Michigan. The biggest deer I ever killed came from Michigan with my bow. It was an 8 point field dress. He was tipping the scales right at 250, so that's a good deer. Um, Down here, 200-pound deer is almost unheard of. That's a monster. So we have white-tailed deer. We have turkey season, of course, squirrel and rabbit seasons. Those are two of the longer seasons. And then we have a dove season, which is a lot of fun. I enjoy dove hunting quite a bit. Let's see, what else do we got? Oh, you can go frog gigging, I think. I don't know if they've changed that, but there's a trapping season as well that's fairly long. Um, and we do have wild hogs, or wild pigs. So the wild pig season pretty much is all, it's year round, because they're considered a nuisance. But when a season is in, you can only use the same weapons that's in season. Does that make any sense? So if it's bow season, then you have to hunt them with a bow, or if it's deer season, you can use your rifle. But any other time, you can use whatever. I use an AR for that. That's what 5.56 would do them dirty. And there's some guys that hog hunt with dogs, and they don't use a gun; they use a knife. Not me. That's them. We do have alligator seasons here. Um, I think that's pretty much it. Then fishing is just year round. You know, we don't have. When I lived in Michigan, you had seasons where you could catch certain fish in this season or that season. Down here, it's just whatever season they're spawning is when you want to go fishing for them, right? So if you're going bluegill or brim fishing, we call it brim fishing here. If you're going brim fishing and you want to go water temperature is 64, right? They're going to be on the bed. You can get them shallow. You're going to go shallow with crickets or worms and wear them out. Bass, temperature gets over, don't know if y'all heard that, but that was serious. Um, yeah, but the bass is pretty much whenever they start spawning, that's when you want to start um, hunting them down and trying to hang them biggins. I don't keep bass unless I'm at a pond and they don't want them there. Then I'll keep them, but I don't. It's not my favorite fish to keep. Crappie season is right after winter, so we don't have any. The best eating fish that we have here is going to be crappie. A lot of people here will probably disagree and say that catfish is the best eating fish here. I disagree with that. I'm more of a scaly fish kind of guy. I don't know what's happening over there, but anyway. So yeah, so I like to fish and I like to hunt. Those are my two main hobbies. Well, not including just time at the range or in the backyard. Something about letting it rip is just relieving, stress reliever. Anyhow, guys, that's it. That's all I got. That's my pretty much my work history summed up in a 14-minute video. Couple of my hobbies again. I think I addressed most of them last night, but just wanted to touch back on them again today. Thought I seen something moving over there. Might need some sleep. But anyhow, guys, hopefully this will all pan out. We'll see how it goes. If you guys have any questions for me, leave them down below. Let me know. I'd love to hear. Get some questions from you guys. It's fun. I always try to ask a question to try to keep everybody interacting. So you guys ask me something. Maybe I can come up with something good out of it. I will see you guys on the next one. I sure do appreciate the view. Please, you hear him sneezing? Please help me grow this channel. I sure would appreciate it. Share it if you can. Any of my previous videos, if you can share them, like them, view them, comment in them, I sure would appreciate it. I do appreciate the comments that I do get, and I try to respond. I think I mentioned this before. I try to respond as soon as I can. Sometimes it takes a little while, but that's work and that's life. So appreciate it, guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, help me grow this channel. I sure would appreciate it, and I will see you guys on the next one.